Hello and welcome. Today's topic is our development of the reproductive system part 2. See, in the development of the ovary, as you know that at the end of the 5th week of intrauterine life, primordial germ cells migrates towards the genital ridge and forms primitive sex cords, just like in my last video, okay? And of course, you know this chart that how the ovary and other female reproductive parts form. See, the entire thing one by one. Primordial germ cells converts into oocytes and stays inside the primitive sex cord, okay? After a few days, this primitive sex cord gradually degenerates and forms ovarian medulla, okay? And at the 7th week, coelomic epithelium gives rise of the secondary sex cord. So this is primitive and this is secondary sex cord, which is also known as cortical cords. From this cortical cord, germinal epithelium layer will be arise. And at the 3rd month of intrauterine life, cortical cord forms clusters of cells. When lots of clusters of cells ultimately converts into follicular cells, and this follicular cell will convert into primordial follicles. So this is the overall structure of the fetal ovary, which is suspended by mesovarium. Now, what is ovary? What is mesovarium? All these things I talked about in my anatomy of ovary videos, okay? Now, extra knowledge point for you that secondary follicle develops during the menstruation cycle or period. See, what is menstruation cycle? We'll talk about in physiology chapter, not now. So, primordial follicle and its function, secondary follicle and its function, everything we'll talk about later, not now. Now, development of the uterus along with the cervix. Fused part of the right side, left side paramesomorphic duct or Mullerian duct forms the endometrium. Nice. Adjacent mesoderm of the Mullerian duct, surrounding mesoderm of the Mullerian duct forms the myometrium, and the remnants of the Mullerian duct or paramesomorphic duct forms the fallopian tube, both sides, right side, left side. Also, it forms the perimetrium. Now, development of the vagina. Above the hymen, the upper 3/4 part, sinovaginal bulbs develops the endoderm and forms the mucous membrane. Okay. Muscles and connective tissue develops from the mesoderm, presents surrounding the Mullerian duct. And below the hymen, the lower 1/4, it derives from the urogenital sinus from the endoderm. Now, hymen develops from the remnant parts of the Mullerian duct. That's it. Extra knowledge points like clitoris develops from the genital tubercle, the phallus part. What is phallus part? I told you in my earlier videos. So, clitoris is a kind of homologous organ of male penis. That's it. Labia minora develops from the primitive urethral folds. That's it. Labia majora develops from the genital swellings and it fuses anteriorly to form the anterior labial commissure, and it fuses posteriorly to form the posterior labial commissure. So all these structures, normal anatomy, you already know that because I told you in my earlier videos of anatomy. You did not see those videos, it's your fault, not mine. Primitive urethral folds and primitive urethral groove combinedly forms penis in male, including the ischiocavernosus muscle and bulbospongiosus muscle. Okay. Now, phallic part from the endoderm, which surrounds the mesonephric duct of urogenital sinus, forms a urethral plate, and within few days this urethral plate gets canalized. Okay. Margin of the urethral groove forms the urethral folds, each side, right side, left side, and both folds ultimately fuses together. It forms a tube-like structure. In between, the inside the bulbospongiosus muscle, ultimately it forms the spongy urethra or the penile urethra, and this spongy urethra connects with the prostatic urethra. Okay. Now the prepuce, which covers the glans penis and the entire shaft of the penis, arises from the surface ectoderm. Scrotum, which covers the testes, is also arises from the surface ectoderm. So I hope you will understand, and see you in my next video. Then bye.